Thank you very much, Jennifer,
No
for
problem.
helping me out and hosting the call. I appreciate it. For those
No.
of you that do not know, that is my beautiful wife. So I got some help here today, and I appreciate it. Hello, Raffaele. So I want to welcome you guys to the call. We're going to be doing this every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 7 p.m. Those are the times that I'm available to do this, but I'm sure that there's going to be more people stepping up to the plate and want to take this and run with it as well. And you're more than welcome. We want as many people doing this as possible, obviously. So I'm not sure what brought you guys onto the call. I want to thank you for spending a portion of your life with me tonight. It's going to be it's going to be worth your while, okay? You know, after you see what you're going to see, chances are you're going to want to do this because it makes sense. If it's not something you want to do, then that's okay as well. No one's going to send the police after you or whatever. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. We're going to educate you guys a little bit about this new movement that's coming. It's called UGC Protocol. You're going to understand why this platform, this compensation plan, and this movement, like I like to call it, has gotten me out of the game, okay, or into the game from the sidelines and participated. It's good to see some faces I know anyways out there. So welcome to the call. But I've been kind of dormant in this this kind of space for a very long time. Actually, the crypto space is something that I avoided like the plague. And I did. And for everybody who's in it and loves it, I couldn't understand why, because I couldn't understand it. Okay. And for me, generally, I stay away from things that I don't understand. So that's why I stayed away from it. But there was an individual who took his time to explain this to me and explain how we can earn simply with this amazing, amazing thing called cryptocurrency, which I know I'm late to the game with, but I'm not late to the game with this opportunity. So, and in the crypto space, because it's about to go crazy. Okay, for those of you that know about this. So I'm really, really excited to be part of this, this crypto space and this movement called UGC Protocol. And in a second, we're going to go through a few slides. The presentation's not going to be long. I think my last Zoom call was about 4 hours, so it's really short. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. We're going to take about 20 minutes, but what I like to do after the presentation is I actually like to go on to my back office with this UGC protocol. I like to go in the back office and show you how everything is tracked and how you can really jump into this and understand that everything you need is on your fingertips, okay? It is a very, very easy business to do. Believe me, if it wasn't, I wouldn't do it. Telling people about it is not required, but after you hear this, you're going to want to tell everybody. A huge investment is not required, okay? There is an investment required, but the investment is anywhere from $10 to $20,000, okay? And no, if you invest 20, you don't get more than percentage-wise than you would at $10, okay? The payouts are the payouts. So I need you guys to understand that it's not one of those that rewards the rich. It's actually one of those that rewards people for staying consistent and being in the game long-term, okay? This is a long-term venture here. This is not something that's coming across your plate that's here today and gone tomorrow. We've all seen those. I know every single person on the call has seen those. Some have made money, some have lost money. But for me, one of the prerequisites of me looking at anything is to ensure the best I can that something is going to last a long time. Okay. For me, I have 4 beautiful kids. I have a wife. They're not kids anymore anyways, but I have 4 kids, a wife. I have 3 traditional businesses on the go right now. For those of you who know me, know that I do. So for me, time is very, very valuable. So for me to spend time doing something like this, it's got to last, man. It can't be here and gone tomorrow. No matter how, it's not even about the money. It's about changing lives all over the world. And with a $10 entry point and being able to do one of 2 things, either testing it for $10 and seeing if it works, if everything we're saying is true, that's fine. Or starting at $10 and escalating or scaling up your investment with your earnings to get to the $20,000 mark, right? And that's where we all want to be because, 0.5% or 3.3% paid daily directly to your wallet, okay, has a bigger effect on $20,000. Do we not agree? But even with $10, it's not bad because eventually you're going to double your money. And I'm going to show you that that's another clause in this business that I love. I absolutely love. There's a strategy for your money in this business, okay? And it's doubling your money. So whether you're in at $10, $20, $40, $80, $100, all the way up to $20,000, you're basically coming in and the company is ensuring that you will double your money. And when you double your money with this company, and remember, it's paid daily to your bank, your personal wallet, okay? When you double your money, you have a choice. You could either reinvest the original amount and spend the money that you made, which I recommend because life is short. So you got to have money. You got to have fun, right? So spend some of your money. Or you can invest the double that you made to escalate to the next level, which is great. Or you could say, you know what? I had fun. I'm out. I'm going to take my money and I'm not going to do anything. That's great. You know why you're able to do that, guys? Because the money's already in your wallet. Okay. You don't have to request money here. Another red flag that I would never do if I had to. The money's not tied up. The money's not, on hold for 75 days. This is not one of those businesses, okay? You're simply invest your money. You have an opportunity. There's three engines, actually three, and then there's an A and B on the third, which I'll show you in a second. But there's three engines that you make money in this business, okay? And we're going to get into that, but I just want to preface that so that when we get to that slide, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But there's three ways that you make money in this business. And every single one of those ways will add to the fulfillment of your 200% contract with UGC. Okay? So just keep that in mind as we go forward. So if I may, I'm going to share my screen. Just give me a second here. I think you guys can see my screen. Give me a nod. Cool. All right. All right. So we're going to go through some slides over here. Okay. Jennifer, can you see the screen? Just give me an okay. Okay, cool. So how it works, okay? So we just talked about that. This is pretty clear, okay, guys? So if you invest $10, the mandate or the agreement you have with this company is that they're going to double your money. Pretty cool, right? Absolutely. So the question really is, how long does it take to double your money, right? And I'll answer that in a little bit further. You'll understand that. But if I told you that it took 6 months to double your money, is this a good venture? Absolutely. If I told you it's 3 months, is it a good venture? Absolutely. If I told you it takes 2 weeks to double your money, is it an even better venture? Of course it is. Now, I'm not telling you it's going to take 2 weeks or 3 months or 6 months, but I am going to tell you that it could take 2 weeks, 1 month, 3 months, or 6 months to double your money. And you'll understand that in a little bit. So just remember that in our back office, we're going to track how much money you're making along the way to fulfill your 200% contract. Once that is fulfilled, you have a choice to reinvest or to say goodbye. It's up to you, okay? And along the way, as you're earning towards that fulfillment, the money goes directly into your wallet. Pretty cool, right? So this first slide is basically everything I said in the first 8 minutes of this speech. It's just basically talking about the maximization and renewal rule, okay? So now, how is the company able to do this? Okay, how is the company able to, let me just see. I thought there were some people in the waiting room. Okay, I'll just let them in. Perfect. How is the company able to sustain this business? Okay, so basically, guys, you're being able to take part of what's called a smart contract. Okay, there's a liquidity pool that UGC and its investors have that a wallet called PancakeSwap, a lot of you guys are familiar with that, uses in order to fulfill these smart contracts. It has 3 smart contracts. What's pretty cool about this business, and I'm going to show you this in a second, is that those smart contracts are listed right on your back office. So for anyone out there who's in cryptocurrency, wants to verify anything, you could go ahead and verify it yourself. So they're there. Also, the amount of the liquidity pool, which today was about 18,500,000, I believe, is listed in your back office as well. And I'm going to show you that while we're on the back office, you're going to see that number go up and down. Okay. This is very important you understand because there's $18,500,000 of a liquidity pool that we're able to be a part of in order to earn from. Okay, guys? If it wasn't for UGC, the minimum smart contract amount that you would need to have with a company like PancakeSwap would be $10 million, right? So it limits the amount of people who could take advantage of this. Well, you know what? Thank you, UGC, because now I'm taking advantage of this and I'm actually participating in this market that I would have never participated in before. Okay? So just understand that as these swaps happen in PancakeSwap, you know, through the smart contracts, it adds money to the pool. It's one of the ways that money is added to the pool in order to pay us, okay? And soon you're going to see other ways that the company makes money as well. Now, guys, at this point, we're going to get into it. But if you have any questions, just jot them down. At the end, if there's time, we'll open up the mics and we'll answer some of your questions. If we don't have time, then, you know, ask the person who invited you today. They're on a WhatsApp channel with us where it's a support channel where people can ask any questions they want. And we generally get back to them right away, right? It's an instant chat. So I just wanted to let you know that you can get any of your questions answered after. Okay, so how do you get started here? Step one, you make a minimum deposit of $10. For me, this is very, very powerful because I understand that there's a lot of people in this world that can afford $10. Guys, there's a lot of people who can't, and I get it, but there's a lot more people who can afford $10 than there is who can afford $20,000, correct? All right, so this is going to open the doors to many, many, many people. But you know what the funny thing is, guys? That even a minimum of $10, even people who have money, okay, have a lot of money, they're going to test the system with $10, right? So when they put in their $10, they're going to look at it. They're going to say, okay, in 24 hours, I'm getting my first return on investment, right? The 0.5% to 3.3% a day. Actually, today, we paid out 3%. So today was a really, really good day. And I'll talk about that in a second. But even the people who are testing the system are going to come in from $10 because there's a lot of skeptical people out there, right? And they're skeptical for a good reason. They've been hurt before, and I get it. So they're going to test it for $10. I brought in 7 or 8 people that all tested it for $10. In fact, I gave them the $10 to test it with. I don't recommend you guys do that, but I just want to be honest. I said to them, try it with my $10. And they did. And you know what? Every single one of them has increased their investment in this business. Okay, I don't think there's one of them that's below the $1,280 investment now, and they're enjoying their return on investments every single day. Now, these 8 people are not network marketers. They're just investors, right? But guess what they did? They told others about this because it's so easy. You sign up for SafePal, you go into your back office through SafePal, and you buy your slot. They're called slots. You buy your investment slots, $10, $20, $40, which I'll show you in a second, and you start earning the very next day. Can't be easier than that, right? So these guys are actually networkers and they don't even think they are, right? So God bless to the real network marketers who are out there, because if you really understand this system, then you can have a team of thousands of people below you without even knowing who they are. And I'll get into that in a moment, okay? So like I mentioned to you guys, there's different slots. They call them slots, right? Different slots that you fall into when you invest. You can invest $10, it will pay you 20. You can invest 20, it will pay you 40. You can invest 40, it will pay you 80, and so on, all the way to $20,000, and it'll pay you $40,000. A couple of things that you have to understand here, guys, is that you could come in at 2560 and be in one slot, which is one strategy. Okay, it's not a bad strategy, but it's a strategy. And on that 2560, you're going to earn your return on investment of 0.5 to 3.3% daily until we double your money, right? Or you can split that 2,560 and buy a 10, a 20, a 40, an 80, a 160, a 320, a 640, a 1280 until you've invested 2,560. So that's another strategy. Personally, that's a strategy I recommend because that puts you in each one of these slots, different contracts in order to double your money. And in a second, you're going to understand how each one of these may go faster than the other. And I'm going to show you how, depending on worldwide enrollment or investors into this UGC protocol. Okay, so keep that in mind. that there's many different ways you can do this and approach this. I had a gentleman I was speaking today that is testing the system right now with, he put I think he put $160 in. So he bought the first 4 slots, and he said to me that in a week, if he gets what I promised that he's getting, he's going to buy a $20,000 slot. Now, I didn't say, no, don't do that. Split this up. There's a better strategy. No, I didn't go into that yet. I'm going to wait till he calls me back, and then I'm going to sit with him, and I'm going to tell him, instead of buying a $20,000 slot, just fill up the other slots. You'll make more money that way, okay? Maybe not more money in the sense that they'll cycle faster and double faster. Now, remember I told you you have a choice to make when your money does double? So in your back office shortly, you're going to see that when your $80 hits 160, that money's already in your wallet. You have a decision to make, right? We talked about this already. You can either reinvest the $80, or you could take the 160 and invest in the other slot, right? And keep working your way up. What I tell people to do is very simple. Start with the 10 if that's all you can afford. Welcome to the family. You're loved just as much as anyone else. Put in the $10, get your 20. When you get your 20, buy the 20 and reinvest $10, right? So now you're in 2 slots, and then you keep doing that as you work your way down. So the beautiful thing about this business is that in the next 6, 8, 12 months, we're going to have people who have started low and are already making high in higher slots. Okay, that's the beauty of this business. Now you guys are starting to understand why I jumped back into this business, into this networking kind of industry, is because this is absolutely a comp plan that I can show anybody at any time. Okay, it's very, very easy. Now, let's talk about levels. Okay, so I want to just make a distinction. These are investment slots, okay, and these are levels. So this page here is more for the networkers, but it's not limited to the networkers. Because remember, I told you I brought in 8 people that were just investors, and they swore up and down that they won't tell a soul about it. Well, they brought in their uncle, their aunt, their cousins, their wife. They brought in everybody, their kids. And so they're doing it without even knowing they're doing it, right? But this is where this becomes even more powerful. So this is one of the engines that adds to your 200% completion, okay? So whether you're invested $10, $20, $40, or $80, and so on, this is an engine that will contribute to fulfilling your doubling of your money, okay? Then remember, once it's doubled, you have a decision to make. So how does that work? Well, level 1 are people that you tell about this business, okay? Do you have to do this? Absolutely not. But I would recommend you do, because the fact that people are earning 0.5% to 3.3% a day, remember today was 3%, it was actually a really good day. When people are earning 0.5% to 3.3% a day, they're going to be happy. So you're going to want to tell everyone you know. You're going to want to help them set up SafePal, and use your link to sign up to this and make their investment. That's it. That's all you got to do. They're your level 1. Now, this is where it gets powerful. Everybody that you directly bring into the business, when they invest, you get 5% of that investment, okay? So if someone invests $20,000, that's $1,000. If someone invests $10, that's 50 cents. Nice little added bonus to help you fulfill your 200%. That's very, very powerful in itself. But here's another thing that's powerful. When they do double their money, regardless of what level or what amount they invested, when they double their money, what are they going to do? What do 99.9% of the people do when they've doubled their money? They reinvest, right? Absolutely, they reinvest. And when they reinvest, guess what happens? You make the 5% again and again and again. So this is truly a residual business, because if you bring in 5 or 10 people, okay, and they keep reinvesting because they want to keep earning their 200%, well, you keep earning money on that for life, right? Another thing that I loved about this. Now, let's take this a little deeper, okay? For the people who want to help their directs, get directs, okay? For the leaders, we'll call them, or the network marketers. And remember, everyone on this call is a network marketer. Whether you say you are or not, you are, okay, in life. Let's be realistic. But let's assume that you want to build this really, really big. Well, here's where the power of duplication comes in. Because if the people you talk to are interested in making 0.5% to 3.3% on your investment, then so is everyone else that they're going to talk to, and everyone else that they're going to talk to, and everyone else that they're going to talk to. Before you know it, guys, you might have 100, 1,000, 10,000 people in your business on multiple levels. Well, guess what? Every time they reinvest, every time they invest the first time, you make this. Every time they reinvest for life, imagine 2,000, 3,000 people always reinvesting every single day because people are going to maximize their 200% all at different times. You get that money back over and over and over again, guys. Very, very powerful. And in a second, I'm going to show you what happens in my wallet. And I'm not even a networker per se. I do talk about this like crazy now, but which makes me a networker. Okay. But you're going to see how this money keeps coming in. Now, you know how your ROI, your 3% or your 5%, 0.5% to 3.3%. Sorry, my brain works faster than my mouth. But your 0.5% to 3.3% a day is paid every 24 hours. This is not paid every 24 hours. This is paid when it happens. Okay, so you could sign a guy at 10 a.m., you could sign a guy at 4 p.m., you could sign a guy at 9 p.m. That money comes into your wallet as soon as that transaction happens. Okay, and if they're repurchasing or reinvesting to make 200% again, it happens as soon as they do that. Okay, that's how powerful that is. Let's go on to the next slide. So obviously, if all levels were open to all people, then that would pretty well hurt the company. Then that's a red flag that I always look at when I look at comp plans, is that there's got to be a mechanism to open up the different levels that are here, okay? And the mechanism is very, very easy, guys. And it makes sense, okay? For those of you who know compensation plans and know that we need the company to be very sustainable and to earn money so that it doesn't disappear, right? You're going to appreciate this slide. So if you just invested $10, well, you're going to have access to level 1 commissions, okay? So if you just invested $10, everybody you bring in, you're going to make 5% on that, okay? And that's what you're limited to. But if you go up to slot number 2, it opens up levels 2 and 3. So it opens up 2 and 3. So with a $20 investment, you already have 3 levels of earning. Okay, now what does that mean, guys? I want to make sure you understand that. That means that if Bob brings in Rafael, who brings in Brandon, you're earning on him because you have a $20 investment. Okay, let's go back. So with an $80 slot, so that means that you've invested in 10, 20, 40, and 80, you open up all the way to 6 and 7. Okay, and so on, guys. I mean, I'm not going to go through everything here, but you can see that as you work your way up with your investment, it opens up all slots. Okay. And it's truly where the networkers or the leaders, I like to call them, want to be. You really want to be, when you start this business, you can start for $10 and try it out for a week, no problem. But once you're committed and you say this is for real, I strongly recommend that your first investment is at least the 10, the 20, the 40, and the 80. Which is $160, because at least you got time now to build your network, to build your business, which pays you all the way down to 6 and 7, which is here. Okay, so you want to make sure you make this money if you want to take this seriously and actually build it. Okay, I hope that's clear with everybody. But let's talk a little bit more about the sustainability of the company. Now, this next slide I'm going to show you guys before I pop it on here and you guys start reading it. I didn't understand it until probably 3 weeks into the business. You know when 3 weeks into the business was? Last week. That's how new this is, okay, guys? So it took me about 3 weeks, about 2.5, 3 weeks. I always avoided. Remember I told you earlier that I avoid things I don't understand? Well, this is a slide I avoided, but now I understand it. So I'm going to try to explain it to you guys. If you don't get it yet, you will by your second or third presentation or Zoom call. Or you might get it now because you're smarter than me. But let's see what it is anyway. So every 1,000, let's say 1,000 people come into the business tomorrow. Okay. Now someone might say, Guy, come on, holy, 1,000 people. Well, we just had a Zoom call the other day with 400. It was a leader in India and he had 400 people on the Zoom call. Okay. So this thing is just about ready to explode. Okay. And in a second, I'm going to show you how many people are in the business today. And you're going to be amazed. But let's assume that on any given day, 1,000 people sign up, okay, for $10. Never mind 20 grand, 51, 60, whatever the numbers are on the slots. Let's say 1,000 people come in for $10. That's $10,000 that comes in to the company. Agreed? Cool. What does that $10,000 that come in do to 66% of the people that are in our system? It maximizes their 200%. So basically, it not it kicks them out. I hate using that word, but it fulfills the 200%. So 66% or 660 people of the 1,000, the contract from the company has been fulfilled. Now they have a choice. They could reinvest, they can reinvest more, or they can do nothing. But let's assume 99% of the people reinvest. Then they go back here, right? That's part of the next 1,000 that join and the next 10,000 that come in, right? So this is like an infinite loop. So at any given time, the company is only paying out 34% of the people. Now you might say your initial inkling might be, oh, that's it? That's pretty bad. That's not bad because 66% of the people have doubled their money. That's fantastic. That's great, right? So just keep that in mind that as a company, they're paying out on average 34% of the people the ROIs because every 1,000 people or 500 or 100 that come in basically fulfill 66% of the contracts. So now you ask me, is the company making money? Absolutely. And I love that they're making money. But are people making money? Absolutely. And I love that people are making money. So very, very powerful system. Remember, guys, I told you that I'm personally, I've never seen a comp plan like this in my life. There is nothing in this comp plan. And I challenge everyone on this call to, and you can private message me or do whatever you want, but find a flaw in this contract. You know, it takes care of the company and it takes care of the investors. It's absolutely amazing. Okay. Let's talk about this, the next engine that produces money for both the company and the person or investor involved. Okay. This is a monoline matrix. There's a lot of comp plans out there that use a matrix, right? We all know about those. Some love them, some hate them. For me personally, they've worked for a certain amount of time and then they stopped. I'm going to show you why this one will never stop. And it has to do with the 200% contract. Okay. Every time someone comes in and that contract is fulfilled and they reinvest, they get a new position in this global spillover monoline matrix. Okay. This is not your matrix. You're not filling your matrix. You don't have to go find 4 people in order to cycle out. It's not one of those businesses. It's basically the whole world, Vietnam, India, Philippines, Africa, Canada, United States, Latin America. Anybody that comes on gets put into these matrix. Now, when you sign up, you're in a waiting list. You're in a monoline waiting list to get into the matrix of that slot that you're in. So if you're in $10, it has its own monoline. If you're $20, it has its own monoline. If you're $40, it has its own monoline. So depending on your investment, you're on a waiting list to get on the matrix. Once you get into the matrix, I'm going to show you now how you earn to add to the fulfillment of your 200% contract. Okay, so let's go on to the first slide. I hope everyone's with me still, right? So let's say your upline, let's call this gentleman Brandon. There you go, Brandon. That's you in your younger years, okay? So let's say that this person is Brandon and he brought me into the business, okay? Now, Brandon may or may not have gotten into a matrix. I don't know. But you know what? I waited about a week. I waited 2 days. I waited 2 hours. We don't know what that time is. But I got inserted into a matrix. Okay? Now I'm finally in the matrix. Let's talk about how everyone earns once I get into the matrix. Well, first of all, it's a $10 investment. So the first person who comes into my matrix, $7 or 70% of that goes to the upline. This is called a leadership bonus. Okay. So imagine if you have 10 people that you brought in, $10, $20, $5,000. Okay. Let's assume you have 10 people that have come in and during the month, they enter the matrix once, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Every time they enter and someone from anywhere in the world enters their matrix, you make 70% of that investment. That goes towards fulfilling your 200%, right? That's how this is going to speed up that fulfillment, because we want people, we want to get you your 200% as fast as possible. I want my 200% back as fast as possible. This is a way of getting that to you faster so that you can reinvest, right? Or you can take your money and run. It's up to you guys because it's in your wallet already. Okay. This is very powerful, guys. So remember, Brandon brought me in, and one person from Vietnam came in for $10. 7 went to me, $3 went to the company. Company's making money, right? It's a good thing. The second person comes in. $5 goes to me and $5 goes to the company. Brandon's taken care of. He's out of the picture now. Okay. In this engine of making money, he's got his leadership bonus. Congratulations. Thank you very much. 70% of the investment. Imagine the investment was $1,280. What's 70% of that? Right? What if the investment was $5,000? What's 70% of that? So Brandon is more than taken care of. But let's talk about me for a second. So now $5 comes to me and $5 goes to the company. The next person comes in. $5 goes to me, $5 goes to the company. The third person comes in, $10 goes to me. The whole $10 investment goes to me on the first person that comes into your matrix. Guys, the question really is, how fast can you get into the matrix? Can you control how fast you get into the matrix? The answer is no. Actually, it's yes, and I'll tell you why. Because if you help this company grow, if you bring in people and spread the word about this 0.5% to 3.3% a day and show them how you're making, well, you're adding to the monoline. And the more you add to the monoline, the faster it goes. So the whole world is going to jump on this monoline, and we're going to benefit from it, guys. So this is how amazing and powerful this is. So let's just recap here a second, because I honestly think that's the last slide. It is the last slide. So before we get into the back office, let's recap here a second. So let's go to this slide. So number one, if you bring people in, you're getting a leadership bonus, right? Every time someone comes into the matrix of the person that you brought in. Not only do you get a leadership bonus, are you not earning the 0.5% to 3.3% a day every single day? Of course you are. So that's another way you're earning money. Are you not earning the 5% of people who come in, their initial investment? Of course you are. That's another way that you're earning. All of these earnings, it's important you understand this, all of these earnings go towards fulfilling your 200%. Guys, that's the play here, is that you want to get that fulfilled as fast as possible, because it's nice making 200% on your money often and quickly, is it not? Right. So that's the play here, guys. And everything else just falls in place. So I hope that I was able to convey to you guys a couple of very important things, okay? Number one, that the company is making money. So if you ask me, is this a sustainable comp plan? It absolutely is a sustainable comp plan, because number one, there's a liquidity pool that's approaching $19 million and growing based on our investments, right? Number two, there's smart contracts that are involved. These cannot be changed. Okay, these are not proxy or whatever they're called, because I'm not a crypto guy. These are renounced contracts that cannot be changed. Okay, that's very important. So they're not going to pull the rug from under you over here. This is not one of those things. So very, very important that you understand that. The fact that there's this 200% here is brilliant, because all we're doing is fulfilling 200% of people's money, and they're reinvesting. So for me, this is an infinite loop. So you're literally doing the work once to tell people about it and never have to do that again. There's no products to sell. There's nothing to sell. People get paid directly into their wallet. It's absolutely brilliant. Okay, guys? And then you understand about the smart contracts and stuff like that. So if I may right now, I'm going to stop sharing. Good. Everyone's still on the call? Sorry. Let me take a sip of water. 1 second. Okay. I'm going to show you my back office. Okay. For me, this was very important, because what I just told you here is all fine and dandy. It's all great. I love what I'm hearing, but how the heck do I know if it's working? How the heck do I see or compare or confirm that I'm getting what I'm supposed to get, right? Okay, give me a second. Let me attach my phone here. So this is a wallet that I use. This is actually a wallet that I have an investment in, and I actually use this money to help people get into the business. Okay, guys? For those of you that are in crypto, you know how you do that. You send them the USDT and they give you the cash or whatever, and you can get them into the business. So first thing I want to show you is that we use USDT BEP20 in this business, which means it's the currency that all your money comes in, right? So I just want to show you, this is my wallet. So I want to show you the money that's coming into my wallet, periodically. So you could see there 46 minutes ago, 2 hours ago, 4 hours ago, 5 hours ago, 6 hours ago, 14 hours ago, 21 hours ago, a day ago. It's all positives, guys. This is the money. So every single time, few times a day, I'm getting money come in, right? And I started this, I told you 3 weeks ago, but we can go really, really fast here. I only use this wallet for this business. So this is what the company has given me already based on my investment, okay? It's pretty powerful, guys. I have no problem showing anybody this because it's the truth. This is what's happening, right? There's no way of doctoring this or going around this. Now, you have to remember something. This is also tracked in your back office, which I'm going to show you a second. But before the company sends you money, there's a 4% fee that they charge. Okay, so the money in your back office shows one amount, the money in your wallet is 4% less. Now, oh, darn it, there it is. No, that's just the company protecting its interests again. Remember, guys, we want this to last generations. We want this to last years, okay? And we have to make sure that the company is earning and is very strong. So how do you get to your business, your back office? You basically go into Explore and you put in your link. We use the BNB chain. For people who don't understand this and are new to cryptocurrency, it will all be explained to you. Believe me, if my sisters can do it, anybody can do this, okay? And that's not an insult. They're teachers. It's just they're not technically savvy. And I'm not either, but they're worse. Anyways, on here you see our liquidity pool. Guys, this number goes up and down depending on the markets. Yesterday, I think it was over $20 million, right? And today it's at $18,196. When I started this business about 3.5 weeks ago, I believe it was below 14 million. So it's growing. It's growing in value. Now, it's growing in value because it's making smart trades under its smart contracts, smart swaps, but it's also growing in value because we're contributing to it. Okay, when we invest, it goes into this liquidity pool, right? A couple of things I really like here is that you can join the WhatsApp group or Telegram group, or you can get support. If you have any questions, we answer questions all day long. It's very good. This is powerful. So 2 things. Number 1, you notice it's in Portuguese. I'm not Portuguese, I'm Italian, but it's in Portuguese because that's how this website started. It was in Portuguese. So they're in the process now of changing it all to English and stuff like that. But I like that because this tells me I'm right at the beginning. Another thing that tells me I'm right at the beginning is the amount of people that are in this business. 3,021 people. That's it, worldwide. So you guys should consider yourselves lucky for seeing this right now. Because for those of you who have been involved in this kind of thing in the past, the people who get in early earn not necessarily the most, but they earn the longest, right? And imagine that's paired up with a business that's going to last the longest, right? So remember I told you about the monoline spillover, global spillover monoline? We're at 3,000 people right now. What happens when that number becomes 30,000? What happens when it becomes 300,000? So this is another reason why it intrigued me to get involved now, because I'm going to be able to benefit from the company growth over the next few years, right? Very important. This is all accessible to you. It's on everyone's back office. Here's the next thing. Remember I talked to you about the smart contracts? They're here. There's nothing to hide. You can copy this. You can actually go to the website, click on that. It takes you to the BNC or BNS website, whatever it's called, and you could actually verify the transactions and the contracts that are happening. I've had a few people join the business that were in the crypto space, and this is the first thing they wanted to see because they were very skeptical about these smart contracts. Well, guess what? After 3-4 days of verifying it, they called me up and they came in with more money because they liked what they saw. But again, it's there for you guys to see. There's actually a third contract that's not listed here, but if you guys want it, I can get you it. It's not a problem. They just don't put it on here because I don't know, maybe they don't want 1,000 people to question stuff, but I can get you it. It's no problem. Everything is like an open book here, which is great. Okay. Yes. So these are the transactions that are happening in the smart contracts, or you can actually go into the contract to see it. Okay. Let's go into the back office a second, just very, very quickly. Remember, I talked to you about the amounts of investment. Well, they're all here. The slots are here. So there's a $10 investment. There's a $20 investment. There's a $40 investment. There's a couple of things I want to show you in here. Okay. That's very, very important. Number one, this is a $160 slot. Number two, I am active, okay, in this monoline, but I'm not in a matrix yet. I'm number 242 to get into the matrix. Now, guys, that number could be as high as 2,000. It doesn't matter. It can happen in a day. It can happen in a week. It can happen in a month. This is an added bonus for them to help us fulfill the 200% contract, okay? I've seen it come down from 200 in a day. I've seen it take a week. We don't know that. It all depends on how many people are joining worldwide. But the beauty of it is that everything is tracked here. And this is what I love, okay? Couple of other things. $39.97. See, things are changing to English. That was Portuguese yesterday. So things are getting better. But what does this mean? That means that so far, $39.97 have been earned towards the $320 agreement that you have with the company. Okay. Now, is that money here waiting for this to, they call it cycle? No. Is that money waiting for for you to ask for it? No. That money is straight and already deposited into your wallet, which I showed you earlier. Okay. Love it. So basically, this is just a tracker. Okay, now what happens when that $39.97 becomes $320? Well, this shuts off. A button shows up that says reinvest or purchase again. And what are you going to do? Well, you're going to repurchase it for $160 because you just earned $320, right? That's how beautiful this is, guys. I've cycled already numerous times in the 3.5 weeks that I've been in various slots. Okay, I don't want to set expectations for people because I hate doing that. But it could be a week. It could be a month, guys. It could be 2 months. It doesn't matter. You're still getting your 200% in record time, okay? I saw an investment at a bank the other day. They're paying, I think it was 3.2% a year. Well, this company is paying 3.3% a day some days of the month, right? Anywhere between 0.5% to 3.3% a day. What else can you see here? Oh, if I may, I'd like to show you a couple of other things and then we'll wrap up the call. So let's go back. So remember I told you everything's in here. Your revenue records are here, okay? Remember I told you there's many ways that you earn money. At the top here under revenue records, you're going to see ROI. That's your daily return, right? And those are in green. You're going to see the matrix. That's money that you earn in the matrix. The leadership, remember what that is? That's if you bring in someone who goes into the matrix, the first person that comes into their matrix, you earn 70% of that. So you'll see that in your revenue records, right? And then there's the unilevel. What was unilevel? Well, unilevel is the amount that you make on your team, right? When your team starts growing, all those different percentages, they're just going to come in fast and furious, okay? And you could see all of these. These are all here. Now, remember what I told you. You can verify that this went into your bank by simply going to your wallet and looking at it. Just remember, it's minus 4% of that, right? So it's minus 2 point something cents from that amount, okay? That's pretty cool. Let me just show you one other thing. Your dashboard, okay? You can see how your team is doing. You can see how many direct referrals you have. Like I said, you can see your slots here. This is an important part, this section here, to see your slots, because remember I told you can invest $10, $20, $40, and $80? Well, about 2 weeks ago, they implemented a plan where you can invest in 5 $10 slots. Okay? You can invest in 5 $20 slots. And I'm going to tell you in a second why you may want to consider doing that. You could invest in 5 $40 slots. and all the way up to $80. So why is it important? See, this one just cycled out. So I got to go tonight after the call. I got to go reinvest because I've already doubled my money on one of my slots. Okay. Why is it important or why is it advantageous to own more than one $10 slot? Well, first of all, more people in the world can afford a $10 slot rather than a $160 slot, right? But also, because we're at the beginning, which of the slots do you think are gonna max out faster? Obviously, the 10, the 20, the 40, and the 80, right? Because that's what the majority of the world is going to come in with. So they have now given you an opportunity to be in multiple positions in the monoline matrix. So I own 5 slots of the $10. So I'm in that monoline 5 times, right? Waiting to get into a matrix, waiting to earn from all those amazing engines that you earn from, okay? Do you have to buy multiple slots? Absolutely not. You can buy 1 slot, you can buy 5, or you can buy, instead of spending $50 in your 10 slots, you can do 10, 20, and 40 instead. It's up to you. There's many different ways of doing this. Now you're going to say, what's the best way? There really is no best way. It all depends what you are, okay? And when I say what you are you a leader? Are you someone who's going to go out and build a network and really promote this and help people earn money every single day? Maybe in an industry that they never earned from before, which is cryptocurrency. Well, if you're that, I would advise you to go deep, right? Go as deep as you can, right? Now, are you someone who just wants to earn your ROI, or that is going to be the majority of your income, which is still great, the return on investment that you make every day? Well, if that's the case, then invest in all your $10 slots, all your $20 slots, right? Because those are going to double your money faster over and over again. So it all depends what you want to do. We're going to have some intensive training starting this Saturday, coming up at 10 a.m. this Saturday, where Mr. Nico is going to be on this, the COO of the company, and he's actually going to teach us a few things about the comp plan that we may not realize. And it is a training that is an in-depth training, which I recommend everyone be on. So just have a look for that. But just understand that these trainings are there. Okay, even though it looks simple, there's various strategies that you wanna do depending on what your goal is with this. Okay, guys, I think that's it. How do you refer people? There's your referral link right in your back office. All you do is press copy. It's copied because the arrow is there, and you send it to people, right? They're going to ask you, which wallet should I use? I recommend SafePal. I don't know if a lot of you have ever used SafePal, but for me, it's the first one I used in my life. So it's the one I like. It's the one I'm used to, right? If you guys are used to other wallets, as long as they're decentralized, generally they all work with this business. It's up to you, but I find that SafePal is the easiest. Maybe it's because it's the only one I know, but people are telling me that it is very user-friendly, so you can use that as well. All right, let's stop the share. Let me grab a drink of water. And let me open the mic. If anybody has any questions, I'll try my best to answer them. If I cannot answer them, guys, remember, I'm in the business only 3.5 weeks. I will jot it down and I will get you the answer personally, okay? So if anyone has any questions, at the bottom of your screen, you'll see a thing that says raise your hand, just so we don't all talk over each other. If you have any questions or comments, one other thing I do want to do is I actually want to open the floor also to people who are already in the business. Okay, so for example, Raffaele, I know we talk all the time. He's a gentleman. He's a gentleman that's not on my team, they say, but it doesn't matter because we have a mission here to grow this all over the world. But I talked with him all the time. Raphael, why don't you unmute yourself a second? Why don't you just tell me what you like about this or what your experience has been with this program?
What's up?
What's up,
Yeah, you
buddy?
got me off guard there,
I know
Ruben.
I did. I know
Great
I did.
presentation, Ruben. Great
Thank you.
presentation. I was so
Thank you.
happy. You know, I'm happy that this week you're starting to do. I can see the company is evolving. People are like, why aren't they coming? Can you give them time? They're coming. You know. So what I'm liking about this is it's exactly what you're saying. We have different engines, different ways to make money. The only thing what I like the most is the money's just coming in. I don't have to stress about nothing. and I like that it's a certain percentage. Today was nice. We
Yeah.
hit 3%. I
Yeah.
think that's the first time since I've been.
How long
But
have you
anyway,
been in? Oh, have you been in? You've been in a while, right?
I've been in since day one.
Oh, right on, brother.
And
Good.
I'm loving this.
Good,
My
good.
first 2 weeks,
So let
I
me ask
didn't
you
do much.
something, because you said you
Yes,
think this was the first day that it was about 3%. But
yes,
what has it been averaging, do you think?
a little over 1%
Okay, good. So is that a good
every day.
investment?
Perfect for me. Can't
Okay,
ask for
good.
more.
Love it. Love it.
Listen, it's an average of doubling your. If you just stick to the ROI as an investor at 1%, that's about 100 days. You double your money.
Hey, sounds
Can't
good to
ask for
me.
more.
And what happens if you tell people about it like you are?
Well, right now I
Do you
tell
see any other earnings come into your bank, into your
yeah,
wallet?
it doesn't stop. Well, my first 2 weeks, I really didn't do anything with it because I was out of town and I was not doing anything with it. But as soon as I got back home, I just started talking about it. Plus, I got in contact with you, and you're doing great presentations. I like the
Thank you, brother.
articulation, the energy.
Thank you.
So it matters a lot, and
Thank
that's
you.
what's also motivating me to uh, present the company
Good.
because you're doing a great job, Ruben, and you're
Oh,
helping
thank
me a
you.
lot
Appreciate it.
with my team and
Yeah.
my leaders. So I really appreciate it very much. Today I was on all my social media platforms trying to get as many people here to to help you and give you
Right
some
on.
energy. I know the
Thank
more
you,
people
brother.
there is, the better you feel, right?
Absolutely, brother, because I'm losing my voice. So
Yeah, that's okay.
I
Now you're
need,
going to be
I,
doing this 4 times a week,
well,
so
buddy, I need people. Honestly, we need leaders to step up. There's no better position for a leader to step up right now. And there's no prerequisites, there's no minimums that you have to do. We just need people to step up and help us with presentations and stuff like that. And we're in a perfect position that if someone really wants to put their fingers into this and get going, I mean, it's one thing starting when there's 2 million people already involved, which is good.
yes.
You can still carve out your niche. But there's
Mhm.
another one, there's 3,000 people, right? Like
Yeah, we hit that today.
yeah, I know. Today we hit it. When I joined, when I did this, do you remember what the number was when you joined?
No.
Okay, I do. It was
Well, I
under,
started on day one.
well, I wasn't
I
day
was
one.
waiting for this to come. That's why I was so
Yeah, see,
excited about it.
I wasn't day one, but I can tell you that when I came on board, there was already 820 people in front of me, and that was
Man,
3 weeks ago. So we're already at 3,000. Now we're starting to find the leaders out there that are going to help explode this. Because I'll tell you right now, anybody who's on this call that really wants to learn this comp plan and do what I just did, which is very easy. I think there's 18 slides, and I only use like 9 of them, but if anybody really wants to take this to heart and push this out there, I could see everyone on this call having 3, 4, 5,000 people on their team like this in no time.
yeah, it's very simple. It's a no-brainer. It's not difficult. If you understand, crypto and a little bit with the wallets and how it works, it's very simple. Paste, you're connected,
Mm-hmm.
buy a slot and let it do
Mm-hmm.
its thing. It's very
I love it.
simple.
I love
You
it.
know,
All right. All right. Okay. So thank you, Raphael. Sorry for picking on you.
congratulations.
But you know
No,
I
it's
love
all
you,
good.
brother, right? You know I
Me
love you.
too.
So, okay.
Congratulations.
We have Moreno on the line. Go ahead, sir. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Great
No problem.
presentation.
Thank you. Appreciate
But
it.
myself, I just started today.
Oh,
I
congrats.
I was looking at this since Friday. I met somebody that did a TikTok video, and that's how I
Oh, yeah, right
got to
on.
know
Right on.
you. So I got it from there. So prospect everywhere, my friends.
Good,
I
good
have a
man. Good
question.
man.
I see these slots. For example, the 20,000 and change. If you buy that one 20,000, then you get paid double that, which is over 40,000.
Correct.
At that time, you can only buy one slot again, and then the other 20,000, I guess, buy a 5,000, and then the others. So that's the max on the for right now is the 20,000.
Okay, so great question, brother,
Brother.
because I was on a call with someone today and they asked, actually, I think the person who asked that is on this call, Bob, right? Hey, Bob, how are you? So Bob said to me, how come you're limiting people? I think it was Bob, but he said, how come you're limiting people to 20,000, right? And this is the evolution of the company. Now, where it's going to go in the future, I have no idea. Are they going to open up higher slots as the majority of the people work their way through? Possibly. I can't answer that. But or are they going to do the same thing they did with the $10, $20, $40, $80, $160, no, up to $80 slots, where they add more slots in there. So instead of investing 100 grand, maybe you're investing in 5 slots of 20. Guys, if we get there, and I know there's people on this call that are going to get there, but if we get there, man, what an amazing, amazing position we're in, guys. So Moreno, that's a very good question, my friend. Welcome to the team.
Thank you.
Buddy, this whole business is about belief, guys. I didn't believe it when I started. All the people I bring in don't believe it when they started. And then what happens? Your belief starts escalating, right? And as your belief starts escalating, what happens? Your mouth starts working better, right? And you start telling people about it. So guys, however long that takes for you is fine. I'm not here to push you or rush you or make you think that you're being left behind. We got time. We got time. It's just, if you're in and you have all your questions answered and you're happy, then be in. Okay, be part of the game. Okay, there's none of this is saying I'm gonna do something and then I don't. The time is now. Okay, we've attracted this into our life for a reason. And for those of you guys who know all personal growth and all this stuff, there's a reason why this has come to our table. And if everything checks off, longevity, the amount of money you're making, sustainability of the company, et cetera, then guys, go in. And if you can afford $10, put $10. If you can afford 5,000, put 5,000. It's up to you. If you want to work to 5,000, then work to 5,000, right? There's many different ways you could play this, but thank you, Moreno. Enjoy your ride.
One last question before we're done.
Ahead.
On that presentation you did, that PowerPoint, is there a way that we can get that, like for myself in English? And
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So we have a page set up, a WhatsApp page called Marketing, UGC Marketing. I know you're new to this, but make sure that you join that page in Marketing, because in there everything is listed. Everything that you could send out to people if you want. The presentation is there. YouTube videos are there. Also, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube page, our Instagram page, our Facebook page, and our TikTok page. Okay. And the reason I say that is because if you ever see a post that you like, that you want to share to either specific people or to your whole community, you can do that simply by pressing a button.
Right.
Okay. And then those people know about this through you, right? Because you're sharing.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. No problem, sir. UGC Protocol has their hand up. Who might that be? Please unmute yourself.
Myself.
Nico, what's up, buddy?
How are you, brother?
Good. Guys, this is the COO of the company. Guys, I have to say something to you right now. I know Nico a very, very long time. Okay, probably about 15 years, maybe more. He reminds me a lot about me when I was his age. His beard is thicker, but it doesn't remind me a lot about me when I was younger.
No.
But this gentleman here is a genius when it comes to comp plans. Okay, guys? So he was actually responsible for working with the owner. His name is Richard Max, the owner of this company, putting this together, because the owner is a genius when it comes to programming and coding and development. So they worked together for months and months and months to put what I just presented to you in a format where it's easily tracked and easily visible for anyone to see. So thank you for that, Nico. But buddy, tell me what you want to say. Go ahead.
Thank you. No, thank you for the presentation. Every day I learn something new with you. Amazing. I love it.
You learn from me.
Every day something new.
All right.
And
good.
no, I want to just say a few things for the team. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being here. Thank you for those who joined today and trust. Today was a crazy day. A lot of people joining all over the world. We have the opening of the office in Bolivia today. We just launched an office in Bolivia. There's more coming to the business. Success, over 50 people in Bolivia right now. They're signing up, and I want to share with you guys so you can see that everything is real.
Right on.
Let me just open here.
Oh, fantastic! This is cool.
Oh, it's amazing.
The meeting was tonight, right? Or it's tonight? It's now.
They've been there since 11 a.m.
Oh, right on.
And they keep. Can you make me co-host? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, 1 second, brother.
Thank you.
Make
They've been
cool.
selling, they're growing, the people are motivated. Argentina, they're going nuts too.
Good.
I mean, people didn't trust at the beginning, and right now they see it. And we have more than one day that we pay 3.2%, by the way. We have more than one day.
Yes.
Yes.
No, I know that. Good point.
Today is day 34 in the business.
Yeah.
And like you show on the let me show you here. So this is Bolivia right now. Do you see it?
Yeah. We can see your
They've
screen.
been signed up all day long. This is the opening. Let me show you
Right
the
on.
video so you guys can see the video too.
Wow, that's exciting, man.
This is crazy. We had a dream. Now we're creating.
Oh yeah, yes.
He's sending this message to many.
There
So I'm
it
gonna show
is.
for you guys the video so you can see.
Oh, right on.
Mister, mira cómo estamos sin descansar.
So just wanted to show you that quick with you guys to see
That's
that
cool.
the company is growing. We're here to support the leaders that work. We're here to work together. We don't want to let people down. We want to work hard. We work with the CEO. We have more news coming this week. We're Monday, right? Today. I'm
Yes,
lost.
it's only Monday.
Today's
Yes, I
Monday.
know.
Today's Monday. By the end of the week, just watch and keep your eye open on what's up. Something new is coming for the business. Something that is very nice. Something that is all about the values that we have, and it is amazing. We just keep working hard to bring this to the next level and help everyone. Right?
Right
We
on.
have the YouTube, like say, with tutorials. We have academy that is coming. We have the trainings on Saturdays, Spanish and English. For now, till we get people that speak other language that we trust, that we can see that they say the right things, because if we don't understand, we don't know. But we
That's
try
true.
to keep the same thing, right, for everybody. We do have ambassadors to support. We have global ambassadors like Rubén and Spanish Marina. So we try to get organized the most we can to give the best service for everyone. So, guys, thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for joining. I do appreciate Rubén. Thank you so much for the work.
No problem.
Rafael,
Thank you, Nico.
thank you so much for the work, brother. Thank you.
Nico,
Thank you, guys.
Nico, keep up the hard work, brother. We love it. I know you're
We
on the
will.
phone. I know you're on the phone every day with the CEO,
Yeah.
making sure and everything. So we appreciate all your hard work. Okay, brother?
Thank you, guys. Thank you for
Take care,
joining.
man.
See you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Well, that was fun. That was cool. That was unexpected. So, listen, we have Bob's hand up. Bob, unmute yourself, brother. If it's a quick question, because we've already been on over an hour.
Yeah, hi.
If not,
Sorry, my
it's
Zoom
okay.
kept kicking me out. Anyways, I think you answered that question about having more multiple like $10 lots, right?
Yeah. So, Bob, I talked. When was the first time I talked to you? Was it yesterday or the day before? I
Yeah,
can't even.
yeah.
Yesterday. Okay. So, we're gonna have different strategy sessions with people because we can't tell people what to do because there's really not a right answer. It all depends who you
No,
are.
it's an option, right?
Right. It's options, right? So we're going to be instructing people how this comp plan works, and then people are going to be able to deduce for themselves which way is better for them, right? But for me personally, if you're a builder and an investor and a leader, I would get at least 3 slots of the 10, 3 of the 20, 3 of the 40, and 3 of the 80, just so you participate in that a little faster. And then I would continually build and stay ahead of my team. Okay. You want to stay ahead of your team because you don't want your team to grow in any level that you're not making a commission
No,
on.
I know.
Right?
I'm already, yeah, I'm on my 80.
Oh, right on, brother.
More
So
60.
so in your back office, which is another beautiful thing, is you're going to be able to see where your team is on every level. So as soon as you see people start popping in to a 7th level, you want to make sure that you invest and
Okay,
make sure
okay.
that level's open.
Okay.
Right?
All right, sorry. Now,
Thanks, Bob.
hang on, wait.
Oh, go.
I'm in UGC marketing on WhatsApp.
Okay, good.
I don't see, that one pager you had the other day?
Yeah. Oh, the script that I made?
Yeah, I don't see that here anymore.
Okay, so guys, I do a lot of quirky things for myself, right? So one of the things I did was I created a script that I gave to my nephews, believe it or not, and nieces to say, here, say this when you meet people and just get them on a call, right? So if anyone wants that, I'm going to brand it. I'm going to put it on UGC and I'm going to put it out there. Anyone could use. If you guys just memorize this script, it's very, very easy. It just goes through the liquidity pool, the smart contracts. It goes through the 3 engines A and B on the third one, and then it just says, look, this is a business that's just a infinite loop of people investing. So if you're interested, please join the next Zoom call because you want people to be on this Zoom call, okay, guys? And I know the Zoom call's long because I talk a lot, but we'll definitely make it shorter and shorter as we go, okay? That's one of the things I have to improve on, okay? Listen, if there's not any other questions or comments, anyways, thank you everyone for being on the call, okay? We have another call tomorrow night at 7 p.m. You guys, if you are a leader or a builder, you want to make sure that you put people on that Zoom call tomorrow night because I'm going to be presenting again and I do get better and better as I go. So it'll be better tomorrow night. Okay, guys? Thank you so much.
Great presentation. It was good.
Thank you.
It was perfect.
Thank you, Manuel.
Hey,
Thank you. Take care, guys. Bye.
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 Thank you.